Hi, today I want to talk about how to care for your nib and pen holder. As you might have noticed, your nib doesn't last forever, and I want to tell you my top ways that I keep my nibs clean, providing a fine hairline and lasting as long as they possibly can. My first tip might seem pretty obvious, but you might be surprised how many times in class I see people leave their pens with ink drying on them. Anytime there's ink drying on your nib, it's dulling it. So whenever you're not using your pen holder, you want to clean off the nib. So whether it's just by wiping it down with a paper towel or using a pen cleaner like the one from our shop, and make sure that you dry it off. They need to be dried with a paper towel before you set them down. Remember that your nib is made of metal and it will rust. So if you get a phone call or your child is calling you from the other room or your pet is scratching to be let out in the backyard, always wipe your nib off before you set it down and get up and walk out the door. Keep that nib nice and clean always. When storing your pen holder, if you're going to store it upright in a cup or a jar like this one, you always want to store it with the tip of the nib up. So you would never store it upside down where the bottom of the nib can hit the jar. No, you want to store it tip up so that nothing is damaging the nib point while it's in the jar. And if you're going to store your nib in a drawer or your pen holder in a drawer, you want to remove the nib. So when items are in a drawer and you open the drawer, things can kind of jumble around inside. You don't want anything hitting your nib and dulling the tip or the point of the nib. So you're going to remove the nib and you're just going to store it in like a little nib envelope or a small jar and put that away in the drawer for safekeeping. And that way the nib stays nice and brand new or good as new if you've cleaned it off, and it's separate from your pen holder so it won't get damaged. Hopefully you've enjoyed these simple tips for how to keep your nib clean and lasting as long as possible. For the resources that we mentioned in the video, make sure you check out below, especially the link for our blog, which contains even more tips for beginners and beyond. Thanks.